we've recently kind of done a piece of work internally, and we were looking at pretty much that whole part of the journey that you've just articulated there. And we're looking at stats around what's happened with the pandemic and everything, right? And so one of the stats that we were looking at was that a lot of the big brands, a lot of the big retailers, they've increased e-commerce and digital marketing budgets by 86% in response to the shift in consumer behaviour, i.e., more going online. But yeah, it still feels like there's this big gap in the whole experience that happens the minute that you've gone past the checkout, and it's almost like, right, that's when the lottery starts of where am I getting my updates from, where do I need to be, what happens next. It's amazing how much opportunity there still exists in that space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much then in terms of the outcomes and being able to understand the opportunity cost of not doing something, not just the opportunity results of doing something. And WISMO, right?
Yeah.
That's the most common CS ticket, and in some cases can account for 40% of all CS tickets received. If we can just try to improve the visibility that we're giving customers, but ultimately the control of the delivery that they're getting, then we can see some immediate benefits within the retailers' CS teams and so forth as well. So the writing's on the wall in that regard, and I think it didn't need the pandemic in order to show that. But when you look at the end of 2019, everyone was still focused on fast, right? Fast delivery, and that being the main thing everyone's going for. Now it's not so much about fast, and actually some of the metrics coming out of consumers wanting to see sustainable approaches to delivery and returns in ways that they're not yet, and that being more important to them even than speed or cost. But as part of that, we then have 24% of consumers saying they're not willing to pay more for it. So then everybody is focusing on, well, let's take a bit more time to deliver it. See, for me, it's more about revolution than evolution. Okay. And I think that there's so much still that's going on around what are the consumers saying and what's the consumer demand. And there's a level above that or earlier than that in the value chain, which is planet demand. What about planet demand? Okay. And consumers are lazy. Consumers, will often ask for things without considering the impact of what they're demanding. And I think that when we look at consumer demand as a yardstick for innovation, it's too slow. Consumer demand is evolution. We need revolution. We need radical action.